Well, Kat, playing the antagonist in a Phantasm film requires delivering a very memorable one-word line. Would
Mm.
you be willing to give us your version of boy?
Oh, my version?
Yes.
Yeah.
A different version? I guess mine would be boy.
Boy, I've been waiting for you. You play a good game, boy. The game is finished. Now you die.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to a Film by Podcast. I'm Jeff Johnson,
I'm David Burns.
and this is a Film by Podcast. Last October, we had the pleasure of going to Scarefest in Lexington, Kentucky. We happened to meet the cast and crew behind the legendary horror film Phantasm, which was celebrating its 45th anniversary. We had an incredible episode, David. I gotta give it up to you and Scott for when you guys covered it on a film at 45.
Thank you.
Oh, you're
It was
welcome.
it was a pleasure covering that, believe me.
It was. I know we got a big response from our audience for that one,
Hmm.
but I think they're gonna love what we have for them today because we're going
Oh, they are.
back to the world of Phantasm and we're gonna have a chat with the lady in lavender, Kat Lester.
Ooh.
Welcome,
Kat,
Kat.
Kat, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm honored and excited to talk to you all about Phantasm.
There's so much we want to get into, Kat. I got to thank you for everything that you were talking about back in October. The line to get to you. I mean, it was you're not it's you're gonna wait, but it's worth the wait. I was just I loved having that conversation with you back in October. And I'm so happy that you're here with us today,
Yeah.
honestly.
Same here, same here. Yeah, that was a lot of fun too. I've never seen a crowd like that in my life. With all the conventions I've been to, when I saw the line wrapped around, this
Mhm.
the block, the
Yeah.
city block. I couldn't
Yeah,
believe it.
you guys kind of took over the town and it was incredible. Kat, you're wildly popular at these conventions, and you're talking Scarefest. So in comparison to some of the other appearances, was this one of the bigger ones that you've come across?
I think, yeah, I think this was the largest one.
Nice.
Gosh, I should have thought about how many I've been to. I've never really counted, but yeah, this seemed to be the largest. Really did.
It kind of surprised us when we approached and arrived because we've been to quite a few of these conventions. So when we got there, we saw that line around the building. We're like, oh my goodness. Quite the crowd, that is for sure.
Yeah, it's just amazing after all these years to see, that there's a couple, well, there's more than a couple that seem to go to every convention
Hmm.
where, where Phantasm cast and crew are going to be there.
Hmm.
That just blows my mind. But also what blows my mind is, the new fans.
Hmm.
It's just yeah, and this was just a little B movie that I went out for, and wow,
Yeah,
it's just been a wonderful, wonderful experience.
that's good. So at this event, was there any memorable encounters with fans?
Let's see. Mostly what I get is men telling me that I was their first crush. And sometimes they go into too much detail.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
that's
no, no.
we don't those are details we don't need.
No.
You details you don't need for crying
Right.
out loud.
That's right. That's right. Well, there didn't seem to be any security this time in Kentucky, but there's some times where I just kind of have a little a little gesture. I meet with a security guy and I say, look for this little gesture, and that means move the person along
Hmm.
when they're in line, just it's time to go now.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a little awkward, but that
And
doesn't happen all the time, and it didn't happen in Kentucky.
Good.
But anyway, it's just so there's that, and then also the love that I receive from the fans, and the way they share their stories, and a lot of young girls, women as
Hmm.
well. They have this, they love like fantasizing and having the kind of power over men that the lady in Lavender has, which cracks me up, because she's so evil.
Hmm.
But yeah,
she
well,
is.
She is really evil.
but I have to say that one of the funniest things that happened was that this young girl came up to me, not this time. This was oof, maybe 5 years ago. She came up to me and she was just gushing. She says, "I love you so much, and you have no idea, how you've inspired me." And and I'm saying, "Thank you so much." And she picks one of the pictures, one of the photographs for me to sign. And then she says, I just don't get it though. I don't know why you're not wearing your long black wig, and you're not wearing your long black gown." And I said,
Oh no.
"Oh my goodness, do you think that I'm Elvira?"
Oh no.
And then she turned red and she said, "Yes." And I said, "No, no."
Oh no.
And
Oh.
I was just like, she was so embarrassed. And I just gave her a big hug. I said, "No, I'm actually really flattered that you thought I was her." And anyway, it all ended up really well. But that was the funniest that's ever happened.
Well, kudos to you there for handling it that way. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people would have been a little more standoffish. So the fact that you educated her, but also didn't make her feel bad about it. That's absolutely sweet, Kat. I think that's
Yeah.
great.
Oh, well, I
Absolutely.
just, I put myself in her place.
Hmm.
You
So
know,
what
yeah,
initially inspired you to pursue a career as an actress? Was it a film? Was it a director? Was it maybe someone's performance?
I know exactly when and where and what and how. Um, it was the first time I saw a Shirley Temple movie.
Mm. Okay.
Okay.
I was very, very young. And I remember just being in such awe and thinking, she's so little and like
Hmm.
me. And I want to do that. I love to dance. I love to sing. I love to act. And as a matter of fact, I was such a fan of hers that, and way back then, it's just like you never knew what was coming on the TV. I'm
Yeah.
really feeling very old right now.
Oh no, no, you're
No, no,
fine.
no.
Hmm.
We grew up
But
watching those on TV.
I
Yeah.
remember, yeah, I would just, hope and pray that another Shirley Temple movie would come on the TV, black and white.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just, well, she would tap dance a lot. And I
Yep.
remember I learned how to tap dance from her.
Oh.
I I would just copy what she was doing. And I just thought, okay, I this is what I want to do for the
Hmm.
rest of my life. So
Awesome.
I love it all. I love singing, dancing, acting. I love performing.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's kind of like a lost art for actors anymore. Because back then, you need to know how to sing, you need to know
Mm,
how to dance, you need to know how to act. All of that, you had to bring it.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it seems like some of that's lost today, where you really just need to know how to act and have a few other talents, of course. But that was the good days for sure. So I can see why you latched onto that cat for sure, because that was a good role model to pull you
Yeah,
into
but
that business.
it's really interesting though, because now since we have all this access now to celebrities, they're online, they're on, TikTok,
Hmm.
whatever. And you're finding out that a lot of these people can sing, dance, an
Yeah,
act, but they just don't, the studios don't utilize
they
these
don't.
these talented people in
Hmm.
those ways.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Well, we know you're a talented singer, Kat,
We
and a
do.
performer.
Thank you.
We're gonna get it. We're gonna get into that a little bit here in a bit. But
Mm,
David, before we do, I know our listeners have they're hoping that we're gonna talk a little bit about Phantasm.
Of
You
course.
want to give us a quick synopsis of the of this iconic movie?
I sure can. Boy, if you're looking for horror that's got balls, it's found you. Phantasm, the delusion of a disordered mind, a phantom, a spirit, a ghost. Mike Pearson and his older brother Jody have been recently orphaned, and together are doing their best to make it through life. However, things began to get very strange and very scary when a friend is killed, followed by a funeral home where odd things begin to occur. It is up to Mike, Jody, and their great friend Reggie to find out just what is going on and do their best to put a stop to it. But as we discover, there is more to it, and they are going down a path that leads into the unknown and a battle with one of horror's scariest icons, the Tall Man.
Thank you,
ooh,
David.
that was great.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. The film is great. It's actually it's out there. It's streaming. I recommend the 4K Blu-ray that came out recently. You'll see it on my shelf behind me.
Yep.
But it's out there. So if you haven't seen it and you want to hear about what we're going to talk about,
Do yourself a favor and go watch this film.
absolutely.
So, prior to the film production, you're studying at the Roland Dupree Dance Academy when an agent discovers you and asks you to read for Phantasm. Tell us about the audition process. Was there a specific scene that you had read?
Uh yes. So first of all, I should tell you it was so funny when I went to do a reading, and I remember it was a very large commercial building that I went to in Long Beach, and there was an office door that I was banging on. Nobody was answering, and then finally I tried the doorknob, and the door was unlocked. So I opened up the door, and there's this office, and all there is boxes all over the place and not much lighting. And I was saying hello, hello, and there was no answer. And I was feeling very uneasy. And just as I was about to flee, I hear, wait. I turn around and I see Don Coscarelli, and he's like 6'5" or maybe more. And all of a sudden, he had this big smile on his face, and that put me at ease. Thank God, because it
Right.
was really eerie. And anyway, so yeah, so I read for him, and I remember the line was something like, "So what's the only thing to do in this town?" And then Don slaps his knee and he goes, "Finally, somebody read this or the way it was supposed to be, or said it the way it was supposed to be said."
Nice.
And we talked for quite a while, and then he said, "Well, I'll give you a call, let you know." And I've heard that before,
Great.
so I wasn't waiting around. But anyway, what happened was he called me back. It was maybe a week or so, and he said he wanted me to do a screen test.
Ooh.
And so he said, "But this time I want you to wear a tight-fitting dress," because I had the first time I was in jeans and a t-shirt when I read for him. And so I showed up at the screen test with my favorite dress, which was the lavender dress that I wore in the movie.
Wow, that's
And
awesome.
Whoa.
and so I did the scene with Bill. He was very handsome, and we had a lot of chemistry and a lot of fun. And it was about 2 weeks later, Don calls me up, and he says to me, you're not going to get the role that we had planned for you. And my heart just sank because
Hmm.
I felt like everything went so well. And I said, oh, all right. He goes, well, let me tell you something. When I saw the screen test, you had this kind of devious and seductive allure. And I loved the dress. And he goes, so you're going to be the lady in lavender. And instead of being the victim, because what I was supposed to be was some girl that gets picked up, you
Mhm.
know, in the bar and gets taken to the cemetery and proceeds to get torn apart by ravenous dwarfs.
Oh gosh.
But so now he said, you're going to be the lady in lavender and you're going to be the villainess instead of the
Nice.
victim. And I was like, wow,
Yeah.
okay.
Even better role for you.
Great
Yes, I
decision.
couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
That's awesome. That's great that that happened to you. So yeah. Was there any background information that Don had given you, or did you create the story of the Lady in Lavender
Well, that's how it all happened. He just saw me on the screen test
and just went with it?
and and
That's
he
awesome.
just he said,
Wow.
you're going to be the lady in lavender. And that's how it was. And really that's all I knew,
Hmm.
that I was now the villainess and the lady in lavender. And it wasn't until I went to the screening. That's a whole other story. I don't know
Well,
if you
yeah,
want me to get into that right now.
well, yeah, we can talk.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to talk about it right now, or do we want to wait? It's up to you,
Oh,
Kat.
well, I could tell you what happened.
Yeah.
Sure.
Go ahead.
I didn't really understand. All I knew is that I'm the lady in lavender, and I had done a few scenes and stuff, and it wasn't till I went to the screening that I saw my face superimposed. I was like, oh, I guess I'm his alter ego, the tall man's alter
Hmm.
ego. Um, yeah, it was very bizarre, but I still didn't know what the connection was exactly.
Hmm.
If he turns into me, I turned into him, or just some other entity. I don't know. But anyway, that was the first time I realized that I was actually his alter ego, I guess.
Yeah. Well, clearly, one meeting with Don, you're in a t-shirt and blue jeans.
Hmm.
You leave. He's doing some rewriting quickly because you're the lady in lavender. So I got to ask, like, were you given some creative freedom to develop her as far as her personality, her hair and makeup, the fashion? Was that all you, or was that Don or
Well,
the crew going like, hey, let's make her look like this?
well, they actually, it was Dawn's mother who actually did the makeup for me. It's very 70s makeup. But, I was just being myself, you know, with a lot of devious behavior. But
Uh,
yeah, it was basically I just showed him that dress and that's the way he wanted me to look. And he I remember being kind of frustrated because the first one of the first scenes, it's after I have stabbed Reggie
Hmm.
and you see the tall man and then you
mhm.
see my face superimposed over his. And I wanted to have some sort of a scowl on my face or something, or lift an eyebrow. And Don said, I don't want any expression at all. And I was so frustrated, but it actually turned out to be great. I mean, so many people say, you have this look on your face and
You do.
you can't read what's going on there.
Hmm.
So it's
Yeah.
Well,
very
that's what
mysterious.
it's
So
what makes her scarier,
Yeah.
in
yes,
that moment. I have
yes,
to
it was a
ask,
good call.
Kat, I have to ask, do you still own the dress?
No, I don't. And I love that dress so much. But Don ended up keeping it and he must have thrown it out.
Oh
He's,
no.
yeah, I don't know why. Well, I know why he kept the dress. That going back to the scene where there's breasts,
Hmm.
supposedly my breasts, but they were not mine. Um, but so you know the scene where I'm supposedly laying on a grave.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Uh, what would you call it? It's kind of above. It's a tomb, whatever.
Like a yeah, like a
Yeah,
tomb.
and so we're supposedly having about to have sex, me and Bill Thornberry, or I should say Jody. Um, and there's a part where the dress is pulled down over supposedly my breasts. They were not mine. Anyway, so the only way to do that was to cut the back of my dress because it was just like
Oh.
a fitted t-shirt, basically.
Hmm.
It was a jersey dress that you just pull over. But he wanted to, I guess he just wanted it to look like it was being pulled down, and it was. But that was a stand-in because I did not want to do that scene. Well, I was
Understand.
originally supposed to do that scene in my lingerie,
Hmm.
and I decided, oh, big deal. I'll just find a bra and panties that look like, that covered more than my bikinis did.
Hmm.
But what happened was when I was supposed to go out, we were out in the middle of nowhere at a big park way in the valley. And it was like maybe 2 o'clock in the morning, and it was supposed to be a closed set. And what happened is I had my makeup done. They were all ready for me to come out. And it was supposed to be a closed set. And when I opened the door to walk out from having my makeup done, there was a huge amount of young guys
Mm.
drinking beers and saying, "Bring out the bimbo." That's and I said, "This is supposed to be a closed set. I'm not doing this scene in front of these people." Somehow these guys that they were from the nearest university. I don't know what it was there, but somebody told them this was happening.
Mm.
And I was like, I'm not doing the scene. So Don said, okay, we'll work around the scene. And then later on he said, do you mind if we just get, somebody else to do that scene, at another
Hmm.
time? And I said, sure, fine. I was only 19. I didn't think about the repercussion.
Yeah.
And so uh when I went to see the screening, I was with my mother.
Oh no.
And here comes this scene, and the screen is like 20 feet high by 20 wide or more.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And you see me saying, "Ooh, oh, Tommy," from the shoulders up, and then all of a sudden there's these breasts. And I'm like, oh no. And I don't know if I told you this before, but my I went to see this with my mother, the screening, and my mother turns to me. First of all, I scream out, "Those aren't mine." My mother turns to me and she said, "Well, you should have done it because your boobs are better."
Oh.
Oh.
That I did not see that part of the story coming there.
I
That's
didn't either.
awesome. Yeah. But I mean, I can't imagine that had to be difficult, at that age, when you're in front of a crew with cameras, that
Mm.
had to be a little overwhelming, I would think.
Yeah, it was overwhelming.
I bet.
It really was. I think Don was only 24
Hmm.
when we did this. I was 19. Like I said, it was a B movie, but now
Right.
you
Oh,
know,
got a life of its own now.
it definitely
It's a
has a life.
classic.
Yep,
Now it's a cult classic.
it is. And for good
Hmm.
reason too.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you kind of told us a little bit about the filming location. Do you recall how many days you were on set filming your scenes?
Oh gosh, this was a long time ago. Maybe I did 8 scenes. I don't remember. I remember there was one of the first things we also shot was in the cantina
Hmm.
where I first meet Bill, and we had some banter going on, but the thing was, it was going really well, but there was we reshot this scene over and over again because we were improvising. And but after a little banter, um, Bill was supposed to say one more Dos Equis, at the bar, and so the bartender's supposed to slide it down to Bill. And I don't know how many times we did it, but he kept swigging the beers, and he got a little shit-faced. And so when you see that scene, there's absolutely no dialogue. You just see me sitting at the bar, and then we walk out together. That's about all he could do.
I bet.
Oh, yeah.
When you guys were creating this, did they do table reads for the script, or did you just do a
Oh
lot of that on
no,
your
there was
own?
no tape. I was told, what to do on the day.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Nope.
I didn't have a script.
Wow. All right. Well, you did well. So,
Wow. Without a script, that's incredible.
yes, it is. 15 years after Phantasm, you reprise your role for Phantasm 3, Lord of the Dead. Do you
Mhm.
recall your initial reaction when you were asked to return?
I was ecstatic. But then I wasn't ecstatic when I found out what I was going to be doing, which was playing a nurse of all things.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, it didn't make sense to me, but I remember when I went to see it, I missed it. I missed it was just the quickest cameo I'd
Yeah.
ever not seen. So it wasn't until I watched it again, when it was, yeah, I think I was watching it at home and I was like, oh, there it is. I had to stop it to see it.
Well, it's a bit of a tease because once you move past once the fans move past Phantasm 2 and we're in the third film, and then here you are. And then I know my brain was like, "Oh my God, the Lady in Lavender's back.
Hmm.
Where are we gonna go?" And then that was it. And I was like, "No, we want more.
Right. What happened?
What happened here?" Because you came back in 2016
Mm,
for Phantasm Ravager,
Mhm.
and it's just like,
yeah.
what is Don is really messing with our heads here because like, is she gonna pick up the mantle or not? Kat, I'm just wondering, as you come back every other movie, what point did it occur to you that this character was a horror icon in the community beyond the Phantasm films?
Actually, it was way before. It was like the first convention I ever went to. God, I don't even know what year it was, but it was after the first Phantasm had been out for a while, and so this is my first convention, and I'm sitting next to Linda Blair of all people,
Oh.
Wow, wow.
and she was lovely. But I mean, that's one film that I could never watch again, ever.
Mhm.
I was messed up for a good 3 months. I couldn't sleep in my bedroom alone. But
Yep.
anyway, I said to her, we had a nice time and talking with each other, and I said to her, I said, "Well, this is my first convention, and I guess I'm just going to have a good time watching you signing because nobody knows who I am." And she turned to me and she goes, "Well, I know who you are," and I said, "Really? Wow." And she said, "Just you wait." And she was right. All of a sudden,
Mhm.
Hmm.
there was a trickle of people coming in, and all of a sudden there was a long line.
Hmm.
That might have been, gosh, I don't know. I mean, it might have been a year or more after it had already been out.
Yeah.
Um, so that's when I thought, wow, this is really something. And with each convention that I go to, there was more and more people,
Hmm.
you know. Um, there were people that I recognize now and, know my first name. I mean, I know them by first name, and lots of new people every time I go to another convention. So yeah, and especially so with Ravager, that really, that was a real surprise.
Hmm.
I didn't know that it was going to turn into a feature.
Hmm.
It was supposed to be, what was it called? Um,
Like a direct-to-video originally, wasn't it?
well, no, first it was just supposed to be online,
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
be a
okay.
little series online, and then it turned into a feature film.
Nope.
So yeah, that was great. And again, no script when I got called to this.
What is Don doing
Yeah,
here?
Dawn,
I
come
don't
on.
know. It's always been a puzzlement and a pleasant surprise but yeah, he just told me to show up and not in the Lady Lavender outfit for this first scene. Let's see. Yes, I think it was at the mausoleum actually first. Yeah, I did have to find another lavender dress because the other one was destroyed.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And all I knew was he told me I was going to be levitating through the mausoleum. And I showed up in a lavender dress and he hooked me up to some sort of makeshift. Oh, it was so bizarre. It was a dolly, and then there was this pipe that I hung from with wheels. I wasn't on the dolly yet, and I was supposed to hang from it. And he didn't want me to wear shoes. Uh, so I'm sure you remember the scene where you see that my toes are scratching and
Yeah.
sparking
Mhm.
as
Yep.
I'm levitating through. Oh my God, it was so crazy through the hallways of the mausoleum. Anyway, it was pretty bizarre. So there was that, but I don't know if I told you this whole crazy thing that happened afterwards. He said it would just be I would be just be doing that, just levitating, and then it'd just be I'd be done for the day, and I had planned to go out to dinner afterwards, later in the evening, and so what happened is I did that scene, and I was getting ready to go home, and Don says, "You know what? Why don't you go back and get your makeup redone? I have some other ideas."
Oh, Dawn.
And so when I got back to Gigi, who was doing the makeup, I saw that she was mixing um this huge barrel of movie blood. And I said, "Oh my, what's that for?" And she looked at me coyly and said, "You mean you don't know?" And I said, "No." She goes, "Well, it's for you." And I said, "Oh no, no, what am I supposed to do?" So anyway, she fixed my makeup, look all lovely and everything. And Dawn says, "Well, you're going to be shot, first of all." And I was thinking when he told me that, I, this is all in my head, that I'd get shot in the head and I'd have this stream of blood that it would come over, start falling down on my cheek and off of my cheek to my décolleté, and something sexy. No, basically I get my head blown off.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they film me, like falling back and all that, and then and then they tell me, "Well, you need to get on the floor." And I said, "Don, there's like 2 inches of disgusting whatever on this floor, and like, can you at least put something on the, like, I was planning on going to dinner from here. And he goes, yeah, well, we'll put some newspaper down or something. And so he says, okay, I want you to lay down right here. And here comes Gigi. And she starts pouring this barrel of movie blood
Gosh.
all around me. And I start feeling it seeping into my dress and in my hair and in my face. And I'm thinking, oh, just be a trooper, Cat. You could do this, anything for a good scene.
Yeah.
And we finish, and I get up, and everybody's just cracking up because I have no idea what I look like, but I know what I feel like, and it feels horrible. And I said, so Don, do you have a rope for me? No. Do you have a towel? No. I said, Don, what do you expect me to
Oh
do?
my gosh.
And I said, well, is there a bathroom? He goes, well, yeah, you have to cross the cemetery. It's on the other side.
Oh no.
So by
Good
this
Lord.
time, the sun has set. I'm freezing. I'm wet
Oh.
from head to toe on one side of me. And so I start to walk across the cemetery. And all of a sudden I see there's like a family that's gathered sitting on the grass
Oh
with
gosh.
candles at a gravesite, and I'm thinking, oh God, I don't want to bother them, but I have to cross the way. And I was being as quiet as I could be, and all of a sudden, one at a time, people start looking, they hear the crackle of the leaves or whatever, and they start to yell, and I pick up my hands to say no, no, and they all just stand up and run away
I
That's crazy.
could you imagine
screaming.
being in the just sitting at someone's headstone and then you see a blood covered woman coming right at you? That'd be terrible. I would never go back ever.
No, never.
Exactly. They left everything. They left their candles and food and God knows what else. And so then I finally get into the bathroom, and I turn on the light and I see what I look like, and I think, oh my God, these poor people. What have I done? So then I go, I want to rinse my hair off and get this stuff off of me. And the sink is about as big as a soup bowl. And I go to turn on the water, and there's no water.
Oh no.
So I'm out of luck. I come back, I tell everybody what's happened. They thought it was the funniest thing they've ever heard.
Good.
And I still felt awesome, awful. And I'm sticky and gooey on one side of my body. My hair is matted. And I was like, Don, you can never do this to me again. I won't. I've been a trooper up to this point, but this is it. I'm not doing this anymore. And then, yeah, it was pretty crazy.
That's a lot to take. My
Yes.
goodness.
Well, listen, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we are going to talk about Cat in the music world.
Ah,
Stay tuned. Welcome back. We are chatting with the lady in lavender herself, Cat Lester, the iconic character from Phantasm. Cat, you're more than the lady in lavender, though. You're also you're Le Cat. Can we talk about the music career a little bit?
yes, indeed.
So your music, it's described as jazzy, bluesy, a little bit naughty, and frankly, it's very tantalizing. What first attracted you to this particular sound?
Well, we go back again. Like I told you about Shirley Temple.
Mhm.
I think that was in, wow, late 30s, 40s. Um, I just absolutely loved all of these old black and white movies. And I was so fixated on Marlene Dietrich when she was in the blue, I think it was called the Blue Angel. And she played, it wasn't burlesque, it was cabaret. She
Mm.
played a cabaret vixen. And I thought, I just thought that's so glamorous. I loved all of those movies from the late 20s, and 30s and 40s. There was just so much glamour. And also I loved the jazz age in Paris. You know, I
Mhm.
would
Mhm.
I would think how fabulous it would be during, the 20s. The 20s, wow, it was so progressive. The artistry that was coming out during that time, and especially in Paris, the Champs-Élysées and Hemingway. And I just thought, God, I wish I was born in that era because it
Mhm.
was fantastic. The glamour, the glitz, the artistry. Anyway, and I love the music and Josephine Baker. And
Mhm.
so I started, I love all kinds of music, but I thought, I really want to get into this whole thing. I want to create, uh, I just want to create a show that, people can, I don't know, feel like they're being drawn back into that era.
Mhm. Makes
And
sense.
yeah, so that's what started the whole thing. And then I started like I'm looking at my album right now, and it's like what I really liked to do is to take something like a song like I Need a Man by the Eurythmics.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it was a very rock kind of song, but I decided to do it in a jazzy bluesy
Yes.
feel. And and then I wrote a few songs like Talk to Me, which is has that kind of, well, the songs are um from the eras from the 20s to the 40s, a little bit of 50s. And I actually have I kind of mix it in with a little bit of hip hop too.
Mhm.
But yeah, I so in creating, well, I did the music first, but I always had this whole idea of whole production, which I called Le Cat's Boudoir Rouge Extravaganza. So I had feather fan dancers, tap dancers, belly dancers, but they weren't the kind of belly dancers that you'd see in Dubai.
Mhm.
They were like they looked more like the harems from the 20s in Rudy Valley
Mhm.
movies. No, Rudolph Valentino, not Rudy Valley.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you ever seen any Rudolph Valentino movies from the 20s? They were silent, but he always played like a sheik, and
Mm.
he had the belly dancers around, and so
Like the
they
harem and
were very,
everything. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So I had my belly dancers, they're very pale, and t they had tattoos, and the way they danced was called tribal belly dancing. It was kind of like a pop lock, um, hip hop way of doing belly dancing, but they were dressed very much like the 20s. And so yeah, it was a fabulous show. I'd do about 13 to 14 songs and do about 3 to 4 costume changes. I just love the whole idea of that. So that's what I was doing.
Well, I got to tell you, having seen several clips on YouTube and reading the very positive feedback in the comments, it's safe to say your show is not to be missed.
Oh,
And
thank you.
hearing you describe it, and like I was mesmerized, honestly.
Oh,
Mhm.
thank you.
And and also seeing, what inspired you now in seeing that. The stamp is all over that. So incredible job with that, Cat.
Thanks
Hmm.
so much.
Hmm.
Thanks.
Yeah, you mentioned a couple of tracks that you recorded. I gotta tell you, coming home, that that is a siren song because it's like you're under a spell listening to that thing. It's I was like, Dave, you got to listen to this one. Check this one out.
Daybreak and the sun is shining. Nightfall and the wind will blow. Can't deny these voices calling me home. Calling me home to you.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. That's one of my favorites, actually.
For good
Yeah.
reason. I see why.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Hmm.
That means
Yeah.
a lot to me.
Yeah, I've been playing that one a lot. Leading up to this, I knew we were going to be talking to you soon. I was like, I'm just gonna. It's one of those that on my Spotify has got a lot of repeat plays.
Oh, oh, thank you.
Well, what about and we got to talk about the Lady in Lavender. You actually you wrote the song and it's another one of favorites for obvious reasons because we're talking Phantasm today. But
Hmm.
you got like these lyrics like you think you know me. I've got a secret, but I'll never speak it. I'm listening to it. I'm like, that is the Lady in Lavender sitting at the
Hmm.
cantina, and it's so like you shouldn't be leaving with her, but you can't
But you can't
not
help
leave with
it.
her. You
Yeah.
can't help it because that's the aura around her. That's
Hmm.
the appeal. I love that track, Kat. I'll tell you what, listeners, we'll play the full song at the end of this episode because we love it and we think you'll love it too. I absolutely
Thank
do.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just happened. It just pretty much finished my album. And then I remember my producer went to lunch and I said, I have this idea because I had already we had filmed, those scenes from Ravager.
Hmm.
And I said, I just feel like I want to do a song about my character. And so I kind of it was like less than an hour I had the whole song, and then we just started working on it, and it came together really quick. It was amazing.
Yeah,
I
that's
absolutely love it.
impressive. It really is.
Thanks,
Hmm.
thanks.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah,
Boudoir Rouge on Spotify. It's
Yeah.
very nice.
It definitely is. And listeners, if you've not heard her music, you definitely need to check that out because you're missing out
Absolutely.
if you haven't,
Yes.
wow, thank
for
you.
sure. Yeah, absolutely. So, given your success as an actress and a musician, where are you most comfortable? Which do you enjoy more?
Hmm. I really love it all. I just love to perform.
Hmm.
I do want to do more acting. I think it'd be a lot of fun. A lot of
Well,
fun.
so Kat, you and I had a brief conversation back in October, and I kind of want to address it again. Now that you're talking about, hey, I'd love to act again, act more. Let's talk about the future of Phantasm. You
Mm.
know, and because I've got some thoughts on reintroducing the Lady in Lavender to a whole new generation. Earlier you talked about, hey, we've got all these new fans, all these younger fans are discovering the film.
Hmm.
I can speak for them. We got to have some more because with all due respect to Angus Scrimm, the tall man can never be recast,
No
and
way.
yeah, but it's important to remember that it's also not necessary
Hmm.
because the Lady in Lavender is in fact his counterpart. So, Kat, what are your thoughts on taking up the mantle as the film series new villain? If we could get Don to do another film, is that something that interests you?
Absolutely. And like you said, there's no way that anybody could take the place
Hmm.
of Angus, Rory, that is.
Hmm.
And but yeah, not but. And at the same time, I think it would be a blast. It would be such a surprise. And I always wanted to, really get into the meat
Hmm.
Yes.
of
Absolutely.
what the Lady in Lavender, who and what the Lady in Lavender really is.
Hmm.
And there'd be, of course, this whole other side. Um, but I don't know. Yeah, I think I know that, yeah, I don't think I know that fans can make things happen
They can.
more
Okay.
than anything else. Um, all I know is too is that Don keeps saying, no, 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 there's not going to be a number six. No, 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 no. But I remember though when I uh, brought the song Lady in Lavender to him to listen to, he played it like 7 times in a row. And he goes,
Yeah.
oh gosh, this really made me think more about the Lady in Lavender. And wow, he loved it. And so really, I have to say, my heart was broken when they didn't even use it in Ravager.
Oh
I
yeah.
was like, why?
Mhm.
Why? Um, but I don't know. And I really thought too, do you remember the scene where this is in Ravager where the tall man
Taught me.
is in the hospital bed at
Yeah.
hospital
Mhm.
and I'm underneath his bed. Do you remember that? It was very
Yeah.
quick. And
It
my
was it was a
arms,
strange. Yeah.
yes, and our arms are intertwined
Mhm.
as I'm under the
Yeah.
bed. And then they do a close-up of me, and I am miming his words, saying, "Oh, I forget what it was. I'll be seeing you soon," or something like that.
Mhm.
And I thought, if anything, that would be like, I really thought, oh, this must be the last shot of the film to make people think, oh, maybe the tall man is transferring his power to me now.
Yes.
Yes.
Uh,
Eh,
but that didn't happen.
well, maybe Don's right. Maybe there isn't going to be a six because there's going to be a 6, 7, 8. And we
Oh,
can
I
have
like
your
that.
like let's finally tell the story of the Lady in Lavender, right, Dave?
Yeah. I mean, it would take this series in a whole new direction that would be needed, and it would make sense.
Yes, it would, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. We've been waiting for the payoff. That's all I'm saying. Like we need to know the
Absolutely.
story.
And I've been waiting to give it to him.
Yeah.
There
Come
you
on,
go.
Don. You can do this. Well, speaking of that, with some incredible actors that lead fights against evil in these films, is there a specific character you like to see return as a protagonist in against your character?
Oh God, I think
Ah,
Gloria
yes.
Lynn, I I just think she's fabulous. I really
Yeah.
do. I we've even talked about it. Like, wouldn't it be great if, we were at each other
Hmm.
and
That would be the movie.
right,
Yeah.
I think she's so powerful and she's so talented.
Yes, she
And
is.
I just happen to love her. I think she's a great, great person.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, we actually hung out also when we were in Kentucky. And
Hmm.
yeah, we were talking about, wow, yeah, what about us, and it's like more and more you're seeing all of these women now
Hmm.
Hmm.
that are, that are either, playing the protagonist or otherwise.
Yeah.
And a lot of women, a lot of women. And so I think it's time that
Hmm.
this happens with Phantasm.
I can tell you, I'd pay the crap out of watching that.
Yeah,
Seeing
Yeah.
you two go
absolutely.
at it, I would.
Well,
Yeah.
it's like you said though, fans can make things happen. Dave, clearly, we our next call, we gotta call Don up
Yeah, get
and
it on the phone.
get him
Yes.
on the phone. But Kat, what do you think, in your opinion, when we're talking about fans,
Yeah.
do you think a large reaction from the fans would pique his interest to come back and do a new film?
I think so. I think it would, and if even even if he didn't feel like directing, I'm sure,
Hmm.
you
Yeah, executive
know,
produce, maybe. Maybe give
I,
a younger guy a shot at like David Burns. He's a great guy.
That's right.
I really think, yeah, I really think at this point it's up to the fans.
It is.
And
Yeah.
I know I'm bringing something up that has nothing to do with Phantasm, but I've seen how the fans have really, really been very strong about bringing things back, either
Mhm.
whether it be TV or film. Also, when fans don't like something like Amber Heard in Aquaman,
Yeah.
Yeah.
she had a huge part, and then it was like down to 10 minutes or less.
Hmm.
That was all the fan. They have the power.
Hmm.
So fans, let
Yes.
them know.
Yeah.
Yes. You hear that? You hear that, listeners? The Lady
Yeah.
in Lavender has put you to work. Let's do it.
Yeah. And I'll point out, Dave, Don Coscarelli is very active on social media,
He
which
is.
I
Mm.
think is amazing.
Yeah.
So you know where to find him. Let him know. Like, let's make this happen, is what I'm saying.
Oh, I think it would be, I don't know, it would breathe new life
It
as
would.
Hmm.
well,
Hmm.
and holding that memory
Hmm.
of the tall man as well. I just think it could be so fabulous.
It could. And you could pull in new watchers too, which will go back
Yes,
and watch the older stuff
Hmm.
that, brought them into this, the new
Yeah.
trilogy or whatever we would get, you know?
Yeah. Well,
absolutely.
all the big franchises are doing it too, like the legacy sequels, as they call
Hmm.
it now.
Yeah,
The time's right. It's time for Phantasm.
It is.
let's
Definitely.
do it, team.
Let's do it. Well, Kat, playing the antagonist in a Phantasm film requires delivering a very memorable one-word line. Would
Mm.
you be willing to give us your version of Boy?
Oh, my version?
Yes.
Yeah.
A different version? Let's see.
Take your
I
time.
guess mine would be boy.
Oh,
That's
yes.
awesome. That doesn't scare me. That makes me want to go
Yes.
straight at her.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get scared, but because what she's gonna do to me.
Wow, that was fantastic. Woo.
Yes.
Thank you.
Kat, this has been just an incredible experience for us. Like, we can't thank you enough for speaking with us. What about current projects, future projects, aside from a new Phantasm film? Anything that you can share with us right now?
I can't really talk about some stuff that's coming up. You know how it goes.
Yep.
Hmm.
Hmm.
But I'm always writing music and in the studio, and I am thinking about putting, well, I can't, this is really hard.
You're
But
fine.
I
Don't
am,
get yourself in trouble.
Yeah, don't.
yes, I don't want to get myself in trouble, but I do have some projects that are coming up, and you will be the first to know. How's that?
Please, yes. If
Yes.
yeah, when you're when you're able to talk about it, you gotta come back and talk with us.
And I
Absolutely.
Because
do, thank you. And I do
Yeah.
have a question for the fans, and
Okay.
that would be, do you want me to continue with the kind of music uh, that I've been doing, which is jazzy, bluesy, and a little naughty,
Hmm.
or would you like to see me branch out into other types of music?
Mm.
Really curious to hear.
Well,
More
there you
homework for the
go.
listeners. There you go.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
it. I like
Yep.
it. Well, definitely head over to turn on your Spotify for sure.
Mhm.
It's Boudoir Rouge by Le Cat, and it is 14 killer tracks. And I'm telling you, I've already said it. Coming home, that's my favorite.
Oh,
But
thank you.
find your favorite. Let Cat know. Like this is a chance to speak to the artist
Yep.
and let them know what you'd love to hear. Let us know what your favorite song is that she's
Mhm.
doing, because
Oh, and don't forget to listen to The Lady in Lavender.
Oh, yes.
absolutely,
You
yeah.
can't miss that one.
Yeah. And again, this show, you gotta, Kat, I would love to see like a longer version of it on YouTube. But there's
Oh,
some
wow.
there's some fun clips on YouTube that
Hmm.
where some of your show got caught in. Wow, it's just it's excellent. I would love to
Thank
catch
you.
that show.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That means a lot to me. Thanks so much.
Well, listeners, what do you think of relaunching the Phantasm franchise with Kat Lester as the sexy but sinister Lady in Lavender as the main villain? Let us know on social media. You'll find us on Facebook, Instagram, and X. You can check out filmbypodcast.com for all of our film and TV articles and the entire library of our show, which is streaming free. You can write to us at afilmbypodcast@gmail.com with your questions, comments, and concerns. We may just read your response on the show and send you some A Film By swag. And I'm telling you right now, if you're letting us know what you want to hear from Kat, we will definitely get in touch with her
Yep.
and let her know.
Absolutely. Kat, we want to thank you so much for joining us here at the Film By. It has been an absolute honor and a pleasure for us.
Oh, well, same here, really. It was an honor. It
Yeah.
was an honor.
Abs
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I know Jeff mentioned the Spotify where they can find your music. Anything you would like to promote? Anything you want to talk about for our listeners that they can go check out?
Yeah, where do they get more information
Yeah, for
about Kat
you.
Lester?
Oh, shoot. So that's another thing. My right, oh gosh. My website is down right now. We're building it back up. So sorry about
Okay.
that. So the best thing you can do is watch Phantasm, listen to my music on Spotify, and there will be surprises in this new year.
Fantastic.
Oh,
Looking forward to that.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And for those of you out there listening each week, following us on social media, and subscribing to our Patreon, we thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You think you know me, but you don't know me. Try and hold me, and you just might fall. I've got a secret, I'll never speak it, but I guarantee with me you'll have a ball, 'cause I'm the lady in lavender, a figure of imagination. I may be a ravager, but I seem to thrive on your adulation. My soul amigo is my alter ego, and as far as we know, he's rather tall. Well, there, I've said it, I don't regret it. Once you've met this silhouette, you will forget it all, 'cause I'm the lady in lavender, a figure of imagination. Yes, I may be a ravager, but I seem to thrive on your adulation. Please don't try to analyze. I'm just yours to fantasize. And then just when you realize that I'm no fragile flower, you will be mine to beguile and devour. 'cause I'm the lady in lavender, figure of the imagination. I may be a ravager, but I seem to thrive, and I feel so alive when I'm the lady in lavender, a figure of imagination. Oh, I may be a ravager, but I seem to thrive on your adulation.